Okay, guys, I got three of them for you today. One of them being an actual update, disturbing update, I should say. First one is a former Tangi Paho Parish Sheriff Office captain sentenced for defrauding the sheriff's office and other businesses. Basically, he was doing side jobs or pulling extra security details in private businesses. Uh, you know, every station is different. There can actually be a different owner of a security detail that only hires police officers or um, an extra detail for that actual station that needs to be manned that gets paid extra to do security, either be at a park, either be at an apartment complex, at a business, a car dealership, and they are armed, but they are not actually law enforcement, but they're actually off duty law enforcement. Apparently, this actual individual, um, by the name of Kevin Captain, again, um, between actually 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2020, uh, he reported having worked on average 40 hours per week and had an off duty work detail at a motor vehicle dealership and an apartment complex, private. And he never showed up. They don't say how he actually covered or tried to cover because that's a lot of years. Most likely, he had a company vehicle. That's another thing too. Did they have, who's a lot of questions, but every station's different. He might be able to take his vehicle home and then use that also if it's part of the detail from the station. Yeah, I guess so. And the fuel too. So probably just park the vehicle at the business or at the apartment complex as a deterrent. You get picked up by somebody, family member or somebody, and come back, when his time's up and pick up the vehicle without actually being there physically. And most likely he got caught. Probably change of management somewhere. Uh, a nosy citizen, Karen, right? So um, when you actually pull these details, I mean, it's not going to be a harsh work. You're not going to be conducting police investigation or anything like that. Basically, you're just going to be there to deter. And from my experience, I would get actually my assignment, and then would tell me, "Oh, you have a partner. He's coming off a shift right now, but he's going to be working a double, and just wait for him. He'll find you. And next thing you know, you got a fellow officer jumping in shotgun, and he'll say, "My name's so and so," and that's it. Lights out. Puts his head back and takes a 4-hour nap. And he's there with me physically, but and just do what I got to do. And it's just that's just how it works. But eventually, apparently, someone caught up to his shenanigans, and he actually has to pay back quite a bit of money. And for the amount of money of $241,086, that's almost a quarter of a million. And he got charged with only 12. I got sentenced, I should say. He got sentenced 12 months and 1 day, 1 year release, which is usually 3 years release supervision. He has to pay $100 mandatory special assessment fee, and he actually has to return on the amount of $241,086. How is this not aggravated? How is not that for that amount of money? Is that not an enhanced? You know, any other individual, they'll be looking at a stiffer charge for the fact of the amount of money being discussed. You know, but again, he's wearing a badge, right? Okay, and then the next one is out of St. Louis, but it's your regular distribution and possession with intent to distribute cocaine and fentanyl, and there was a quite a bit of Hispanics and Orientals actual running this actual scheme um, from 2016 to about last year, but throughout the course, this individual uh, was moving a lot of weight. He was moving a lot of weight for somebody in Mexico, and when he has that much weight, you actually have a lot of money involved. And he was actually keeping up with payments, and he was on point and on target. And the reason I'm bringing this up is the unique way they actually did it, So that how they actually laundered the money was through basically deposits in ATMs, you know, and it was throughout the United States, actually 14 states involved in the actual money laundering part. That's a lot of people, it's a lot of overhead. Um, at the end of the day, it's not worth it for the amount of trouble you can get into and the the fines. And um, I mean, you're money laundering, you're laundering money. Mm, it's penalized pretty good, And so how they would actually do it, well, I don't know. Well, this is the concept, right? So, uh, they say, for example, you own some apartments in Mexico. This is gonna go vice versa. You own some apartment in Mexico, but you live in the other side of the border, not far. Okay, so your tenants live in Mexico. They rent from you, and every month they're going to pay you their rent, and they're going to deposit into your specific bank account as a landlord. Therefore, they just transwired money across international borders, and this can go vice versa. For example, you get in a routine that you go visit somebody down in Mexico, and the conversion rate on the ATMs is not that much. It's not that much money. The fees are not that much, and so you can actually have your bank account in the north side of the border and withdraw in Mexico from your account. So you just converted that illicit drug proceeds into clean money just for the fact that you did the transaction yourself with the ATM. The banks know about it. And if you have a pattern, if you stick to your actual pattern, the bank will not pick up on it. The government will not pick up on it. But unfortunately for this individual, somebody got jammed up and they wiretapped, and that's how they knew how they were actually transferring the actual money. Okay, so that's how basically how they got there. So they got charged with the whole 400 grams or more of fentanyl and all that, but within the amount of actual time, the duration, 2016 till recently, actually from June 4th, 2018 to September 12th, 2019. That's only months. They Out of all 14 states, they wired money on the amount of 8.5 million US dollars. That's a lot of money for the amount of months. That's just one way. That's just actually how successful they were actually doing this actual money laundering. But again, somebody got jammed up and let him give a good lead and and jammed all this conspiracy up, you know. And then the third one here, it's you know what? You gotta take a minute on this one because you know this is an update for an actual where they were actually crossing illegals, people, moving people, holding them at ransom for high actual uh, amounts of money, and the families were paying it, you know. And I guess these two individuals from LA, um, one of them's name is Edgar. I wish I can give. I don't want to give the full name, but the other one's Junior, and this one's he's out of Watts. So you know, man, I maybe it's me, but I couldn't do this to another human being, you know. And these guys, they're not trying to feed their families. They were kicking down money down south, so they were in cahoots on both sides. I could see them pulling the ransom here without Mexico knowing, but no, they were actually in on it. With whose permission, I don't know. But I did a video and I'll link it to this video here too. So they actually were found guilty. It only took a 3-day trial, you know, where the kidnapping incident targeted victims who either were waiting or attempting to cross the border from Mexico into the US. In each incident, the kidnappers offered to assist in smuggling the victims across the border from Mexico, but instead would hold them for ransom. The kidnappers insisted on ransom payments from the victims' family members to release the victims. And these are actual individuals that are going to be working. You're not going to smuggle your aunt or relative in this way. There's other ways to do that that are less risky, you know. But these were actual individuals that were actually going to work, you know, and they were holding them up to 30,000 in cash. That's a lot of money. Not only that, it's your own people, you know. And I give you that it is expensive to cross people. There's a lot of overheads, and there's a lot of actual people involved for the fact that there's a lot of steps. And when it's successful, everybody gets paid. Not that much, but everybody does get paid, you know. And so they guys were actually caught picking up these actual ransoms at shopping centers in Southern California. And so after they collected the payment, the kidnappers demanded additional money rather than releasing them. So for example, if they were charging 7,000 or 8,000 to cross them, yeah, you had to pay that already. And on top of that, they would actually put another actual ransom fee on top of that. That's dirty. And you know what? These individuals were actually physical with these kidnapped victims. They drugged them. I don't even want to know what happened in between there. But these and women were there and men, and now they're gonna get prison time. Are they gonna get taken care of for actually doing that? Right? Now check up next beginning next year. They're gonna actually find out how much time they get. You know, and I mean it's just you know what, it's just it's. I mean I have no words for it, but I could not face anybody with that actual news or that actual hustle. You know, and these guys are just no good, no good at all. You know, and I don't see how their own neighborhoods won't take care of them, and you know they won't. They'll get a pass in there. You know. Okay, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe.